confident in your ability to move to the next level? Type I in the comment box if you are. If this is your experience, type I. How many of you feel that the video served the purpose of self-analysis and you are feeling a little more confident in your ability to move to level 2? Type I in the chat box. How many of you are feeling that way after recording your level 1 video? Is this anybody's experience? Excellent. Keep typing, okay? Keep interacting with me. That is the very purpose of making you do certain things, because unless and until you don't do it yourself, you will never get a feel of it. It's like going for to learn how to swim, entering the water. The first day you get to know where you currently stand. So if the coach is going to push you in the deep, the purpose is to let you know where you currently stand. What is your current ability to swim? Once you understand it, will you be in a better position to make a plan? But once you got a feel of the water, you may be looking forward to entering the pool once again the next day, because you're feeling a little more comfortable, a little more confident in your ability to do it. And I think there is also an urge to learn more. There's an urge to get better. Am I right? Right? So that is the purpose of it all. So excellent. I'm very happy that you all did that. And welcome to level 2. Today, you're going to do something even better. You're going to move a step forward. Okay. Okay. Someone's having an office meeting. No problem at all. Okay. You can join later or you can also watch the recording. No issues. Okay. Now, in my 1 hour webinar that you attended, I told you my story, right? But to be very precise, my journey of transformation began in 2012. That is the point when I started to read a lot of books, because I realized that what I was looking for was very difficult to find only if I had to go and ask people things. As I said, that I knew there was a book written on every single topic. So I started to read very powerful books. What kind of books? One of the first books I read was this, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay, this is a fabulous book. I read another book called Ultimate Power by Anthony Robbins. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. Spiritual books, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, Neil Donald Walsh, um, Conversations with God. Okay, now these kind of books, as I told you, that when you read these type of books and you read them, you consume this content in enormous quantity, an enormous volume, right? It is very difficult for you to contain this information. And that is why, as I mentioned earlier, I set a goal for myself that I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I wanted to inspire people. I wanted to touch people's lives. But I was not really ready at that point, because, see, I was a shy introvert and I had this belief that if I'm an introvert, this is not my cup of tea. Being a speaker, you have to be a powerful speaker, someone who can stand in front of a lot of people. You have to be an extrovert. You have to be willing to be in the midst of a lot of people. That was my assumption until I read another book. And I'm going to show you this. It was an amazing book that completely changed my perspective around this whole thing. And I know that a lot of you might be feeling the same thing. Okay. So, one second. This is a common belief that if I am an introvert, public speaking is never going to be my cup of tea. I was not even born for it. I'm not made for it. And that's the biggest misconception that there is. Okay. So there's this lady by the name Susan Cain. She wrote a wonderful book by the name Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. She also delivered a very powerful TED Talk. If you want to go and listen to that TED Talk, do a quick Google search and you'll find it. Okay. She throws a lot of light on this subject. You read the book and she talks about what introversion and what extroversion really is. All right. She says that introversion and extroversion are at the extreme two ends of a spectrum. It is absolutely wrong to put labels on someone else or on yourself that I am an introvert or an extrovert. What you are saying is that you are on the extreme end of that spectrum, which means that if you are an extreme introvert or an extrovert, you will literally land up in a mental asylum. You can't be that. You are somewhere on the scale. You can be bang in the center, which is also called as an ambivert. Okay. But you could be a little towards the introversion side or the extroversion side. I'm a little towards the introversion side. But what is introversion? And what is extroversion? That is the bigger question. She says that it has absolutely nothing. An introvert has absolutely nothing to be with being shy. Being shy simply means that you have social anxiety, you are afraid of social interactions, but being an introvert is very different. See, here's the thing, the introvert's brain is biologically different than an extrovert's brain. An introvert's brain will tend to drain a lot of energy while they are in the midst of a lot of people. So, beyond a certain point, they want to be by themselves because they can't stand it beyond a certain point. They're feeling very drained. So, in order for them to recharge their batteries, in order for them to rejuvenate again and feel lively again, they feel the need to be alone. The extrovert's brain is biologically the opposite. It requires that extra stimulation to gain energy. It will gain energy from social interactions, and it will drain energy when the person is left alone. That is the difference, and that is the only thing. There is nothing else actually. Okay, it has nothing to do with you being able to do anything in this life. I mean, go back in history, look at all the great leaders. Mahatma Gandhi, okay, Abraham Lincoln, the current leaders, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, all these people are introverts, but look at the level of achievement. So my point here is that you do not have to beat yourself down simply because you are an introvert. See, 70% of the population are extroverts. And that is the reason why society is structured in such a way to it is trying to cater to that personality type. That is why most people will try to tell you how much better it would be for you if you were an extrovert, but that is not true. That is not the problem. The bigger problem is that if the introvert starts to feel that there is something wrong with me, it's some kind of a disability, or it's some sort of a problem that needs to be solved, that is a dangerous thing. It is a dangerous thing for you to even to think, because that's not true. It is simply a personality trait and it must be left alone. Okay. Now, the day I understood this, I made a decision that now, come what may, I am going to move towards my goal. I'm going to accelerate this journey. So I started to think that, okay, how do I get there? How do I become a coach, or how do I become a speaker? I don't know anything about that industry. I was a working professional. I didn't know a thing. I was very young. Now, if I were to become a stand-up comedian, okay, say for example, my goal was to be a stand-up comedian, who in your opinion would be the best person to guide me and to tell me what does it really take to be a stand-up comedian, how to get those gigs and everything about the business? Type in the chat box, who do you think is the best person? Is it my neighbor, my family, my friends? Who would it be? Who would be the best person to guide me? Stand-up comedian himself, Kapil Sharma. Yes, I guess. Yes. Okay. So obviously, if I wanted to be a speaker, who do you think I would approach? I would approach another motivational speaker or a coach, a life coach who's in the business, who's doing this for a long time, who's inspiring people, who's touching lives. That is exactly what I would do, and that's what I did. I found a motivational speaker in Pune. That's where I live. I found a motivational speaker in Pune. I visited his website. I noticed there was an opening there. There was a sales opening. And I was from the sales and marketing, the business development background. I was much junior then, working for the IT industry, but on the management side of things, the sales side of things. So I applied for that role. I was called for the interview. Now that was the best part. I sat there in front of him. In the first 5-10 minutes, it was determined that I can't work for him because apparently my salary was way too high because I was a part of the IT industry and he could not even come close to that. So there was no question. There was no question. So I could not work for him. Okay. But we sat there and we spoke. No, it was not Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie is long gone. It was someone else. So we had a conversation there, and I asked him a simple question that, you've been in this industry for so many years, you've been inspiring people, you've addressed thousands of people at a time. Can you give me one piece of advice when it comes to delivering a powerful talk and connecting with your audience? So he thought for a while and he said that, look, Perseus, there are different styles of delivery. Every speaking engagement will call for a different style of delivery. And I don't care how you deliver that talk, which route you take, whether you take the scripted route, the unscripted route, it doesn't matter. But there are two aspects of a talk you must take care of. And you can't go wrong there. And what were those? The two aspects he was talking about was the opening of the talk and the closing of the talk. The way you open and close, he says, is so crucial, because that tells the audience whether you are a trained professional speaker or a total amateur, just by the way you open and you close the talk. Because the amateur speaker, the person who's not formally trained in public speaking, has a very typical way of opening the talk and closing the talk, right? They make all the blunders. Today, why am I mentioning this to you today? Because this has something to do with the level you're going to achieve today. We are going to talk about how do TED speakers open their talk in a way that they're able to captivate the audience the moment they walk on the platform. All right. And there are some scientific ways, taking into consideration human psychology. How does a person actually give you their attention? If you understand that and you incorporate that into your talks, it will be simply inevitable that the person will give you their attention, because they don't know that you understand something about human psychology and you have deliberately planned the opening that way. Okay, so that is what we're going to learn today. So no matter what you do, whether you conduct online sessions, whether you are in front of students or whoever your audience is, it works everywhere. It's evergreen. This is understood by marketers, people who the ads that you see a lot of times, maybe on Facebook or anywhere else, even on television, the marketers understand this and they use it. They use it to grab your attention, because they understand that a human being's attention span is becoming shorter and shorter. In fact, they say research has proven that the attention span of a human being is shorter than the attention span of a goldfish. So if the goldfish's attention span is about 8 to 9 seconds, our attention span is less than that. It's about 4 to 5 seconds, or maybe max 5 to 6 seconds. Beyond that, a person does not give you their attention. So here's the thing: when you go on the platform, one thing is inevitable, that the moment you step onto the platform or the moment you begin the online session, okay, everybody is looking at you and they're waiting for you to say something. Agree or disagree? So by default, their attention is on you the moment you appear in front of them. Yes or no? Do you agree or you disagree that the moment you begin a talk, the attention is inevitably on you? Please type in the chat box. Agree or disagree? Do you agree or you disagree that when you start a session, agreed, right? Now, for how long will they give you that attention? This attention is inevitable. It's there because they are curious. You just appeared in front of them. Now they are waiting for you to say something in anticipation. They're waiting. So all eyes and ears are on you. This is your window of opportunity. This attention will be given to you for not more than 5 seconds. Okay, so it is not the second or the third thing that you say that matters. It is the very first thing that you say will determine for how long will they give you their attention. So if the first 5 seconds is what they will if the first 5 seconds is what the window of opportunity is, that is going to determine whether or not they will give you their attention for the next 5 minutes. So how you open the talk really makes a massive difference. Okay. And that is exactly what we're going to learn today. What are some of the strategies followed by TED speakers when it comes to opening their talk so that they're able to captivate their audience the moment they walk in front of the audience? Okay. Now, there are a few don'ts that I want to focus on first, because there are some blunders that people generally make. Okay. Um, I say do's and don'ts, but let me focus on the don'ts first. That's very important. First thing, people feel obligated to make small talk for some reason the moment they appear in front of people. Now, this is also done to manage those early moment jitters. So you're feeling a little bit nervous at first, right? So you're trying to sort of break the ice. You know, everybody says that you must break the ice, you must break the ice, you must do all these things, right? But you're losing out on that window of opportunity when you are standing in front of people and you are endlessly thanking the organizers for calling you there and you're telling them how excited you are to be there, right? And then you also talk about yourself there. You introduce yourself and you go on endlessly with all of your great achievements. Try and understand a very simple thing. Very simple thing. Does the audience care about your achievements? Do you care about another person's achievements? You don't. The audience does not. It's not about us, it's about them. See, understand, if you want to win them over, understand that the audience only and only cares about their goals and aspirations. And if you can convince them that by joining you on your journey, they will be able to achieve their goals and aspirations. That is the only way you're going to win them over. So it's not about you. You may have amazing achievements, but that does not matter, right? So there's a possibility that somebody has already introduced you and you don't need to do that again, right? So I understand you feel to establish your credibility is important, but you don't have to do it in the beginning. Your credibility is established because they already know who you are. Maybe you don't have to talk about those things because it doesn't matter to them. What you should do is what matters to them, and then connect with the audience immediately. So do not miss that window of opportunity. Those first 5 seconds is the window of opportunity. Are you going to let it slip, or you are going to take advantage of that? Okay. So avoid making a lot of small talk. I understand sometimes it's important. You may have to thank a few people here and there. Do it fast and get to the point immediately. Okay. Try to avoid it as far as possible. Then a lot of people feel very obligated to tell funny stories in the beginning. They feel obligated as though they are a stand-up comedian, right? We are not stand-up comedians. We are not there to make people laugh. I'm not against humor. I'm not against humor. But please understand that if you plan a joke and you go in the beginning and God forbid it does not land the way you intended, what will happen to your morale? You will be demoralized. You understand? You're going to be totally demotivated and shaken there. So you are already feeling the jitters. You'll feel them a little more. You understand? See, it's like, have you ever watched a stand-up comedian when the person is struggling, to make people laugh, and they throw a joke out there and it doesn't land effectively. People don't laugh. Have you seen the look on their face? Have you seen? And the next thing that comes out of the mouth comes out very underconfidently. So why should we do that, right? And a stand-up comedian is obligated to laugh. That's what he or she is there for, but we are not. If it comes out naturally, no problem. Okay. If you know that in the past I've said this and the audience always laughs, maybe you use it. You don't plan a joke and come. You understand? If you do that, it's very dangerous. That's all I'm trying to tell you. So don't plan that in the beginning. Avoid it as far as possible. Okay. Second thing, please don't apologize. Okay, there are many people who feel the burden. Okay, they feel the weight of that responsibility, that I'm in front of these people and all these people are now expecting something big from me, and I am not really prepared, and how will I deliver? So then they want to get that weight off their shoulders in the beginning itself. So they come and tell the audience that, look, I'm really sorry, I'm not really prepared today. Or you say, I'm not really a speaker, and you say all these kinds of things to get the load off. But please understand, it is very disrespectful for you to say that. You know why? Because see, the if the audience is smart enough and they read between the lines, they are going to feel that you did not think that they were important enough for you. You didn't think that they were important, right? That is the reason why you did not prepare. See, if you didn't prepare, they would have pulled it off. They would have pulled it off, right? I mean, they would have come to know. But what if you still were able to pull it off? They would have not known. Correct? Why make an announcement of it? Maybe you'll still do a better job. So don't make an announcement of it. Do not apologize. Very disrespectful, because your credibility will drop right there. So if your audience has come there to get inspired by you, to get motivated, to learn something from you, when you say that, I'm sorry, I'm not really prepared today, that's it. It's the end of the talk. They're not interested. They will never give you that attention. Whatever you say will have no impact on them. Okay, so no apologies, please. Okay, so these three things you have to keep in mind. Then what should you do? That is now the bigger question. Who knows this person? Anybody knows who this man is? Type in the chat box. Can you all turn your videos on if you don't mind? I'm not able to see anyone. It'd be so amazing to see you all. Great. Excellent. All right. So anybody knows who this gentleman is? By the image, you can tell what his profession is. He's a chef. His name is Jamie Oliver. He's a celebrity chef. You might have seen him on some famous shows. I think um, some cookery show. I don't remember. Okay. Now this man goes on the TED platform a few years ago. He, without saying anything, with a straight face, he comes and he starts the talk like this. He says, "In these 18 minutes of our chat, 4 Americans that are alive today will be dead through the food that they eat." That's all he says, and he holds his silence for a bit. Imagine he opens the talk like that. He did not announce him, he did not say anything about himself. This is the way he opens the talk. There is another speaker. His name is Zach Ibrahim, Middle Eastern background, okay? Lives in America. He's an American author. He goes on the TED platform. Here's how he opens the talk. Again, walks with a straight face. All right. Does not introduce himself. He says, on November 5th, 1990, a man named Al Sayed Nusayr enters a hotel in Manhattan and assassinates the leader of the Jewish Defense League. Initially, he was not sentenced, he was not termed guilty, but eventually he was serving a lower sentence. And while he was in prison, he, along with other inmates, started to plan attacks on major New York City landmarks, tunnels, synagogues. Fortunately, due to a FBI informant, all of those plans were foiled. Sadly, the the bombing of the 1993 World Trade Center was not. He would eventually be convicted for his involvement in the plot. Al Sayed Nusayr is my father. Now that's what he says. He opens the talk like that. Why would somebody want to open the talk like that? Can you even think? Why would somebody not set a context? Why would somebody want to directly throw something at you that nobody's even thinking about? Which method do you think they might have used? Why did they do that? Any idea? What did they do here? They are trying to induce an emotion inside you. That emotion is an emotion of shock. They want to shock the audience. Okay. See, when you shock an audience, they will inevitably give you their attention, because see, what you did here was that you induced a little bit of drama into the talk. It's like a movie, when a movie begins with some climax. We all have watched those movies where suddenly someone's running, something's happening, and that's the very beginning. Okay. No characters have been introduced. There is some climax, you don't even know what's going on, but that is arousing your curiosity. You're giving their attention. Even a novel sometimes would start like that without formally introducing those characters. You are trying to do something similar. Understand that when you induce some shock by throwing a shocking statistic at people, by throwing a shocking statement at people, and they're able to relate to it. So if Jamie Oliver said that 4 Americans that are alive today will be dead in the next 18 minutes through the food that they eat. Now, there are so many people sitting in the audience that are eating unhealthy food. It's a shock for them. It's a shock. Now, they're so shocked that they want to hear more. They want to hear, what is he talking about? Why does shock work? See, we all know how to drive. So when we are driving nicely, thinking about something, we're listening to music, and we're going at a decent speed, suddenly something comes in our way and we jam the brakes and the car comes to a total standstill. Have you ever observed what happens to your thoughts at that point? This, for the very first time in your life, you will experience total stillness. Total stillness, not one thought in your mind. You will experience the present moment in such a profound way that you have never experienced before. That is what shock does to you. That is what shock does. Who has experienced this? Who knows what I'm talking about? That when you feel a sense of shock, your thoughts suddenly stop. Who knows this? Yeah? Who knows this? Anybody? You can shock the audience, Mark. You can. You definitely can. Shock does not mean that it's some life-threatening shock. I will give you some examples. I have done it. You throw statistics, alarming statistics at people. So if they are, say, for example, if somebody is not adopting digitization, you shock them with certain numbers of the disadvantages of not doing that. You throw some studies at people, you can shock them. You can definitely shock them. Okay. So that is the element of shock that you throw. Either you throw a shocking statistic at them, or you throw a shocking statement at people. They will give you their attention. All right. This is the a very powerful strategy. Second thing, what you can do. Now, there was another speaker. Her name is Lara Boyd. She's a brain researcher at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada. Now, this lady goes on the TED platform and she was basically talking about neuroplasticity. Okay, she understands the human brain, but how does she start the talk? So while she's walking on the platform, she's looking down as if she's thinking something. She suddenly looks up at the audience and says, "So how do we learn? And why is it that some people learn more easily than others?" And then she holds a silence for a bit. Why would somebody open a talk like that? What did she do? What did she do? Anybody? Can you type in the chat box? What did she do? What did she exactly do? So how do we learn? And why would someone learn more easily than others? What did she just do? Anybody? She asked a question. But did that question warrant a response? Did that warrant a response? Was she expecting the audience to raise their hand and ask them something? I mean, answer the question? Not at all. It is a thought-provoking question. See, when the audience is sitting there, they may have heard other speakers before her. Their thoughts are all over the place. Now, somebody comes there with the intent of speaking on neuroplasticity. They want to speak about the human mind to enable the audience to start thinking on the lines that she wants them to think in. She will deliberately throw a question like that so that they start thinking on those lines and they give her the attention. An even better way to do it is that if you understand your audience in front of you, if you understand the challenges that they face, you wrap a challenge in the form of a question and throw it at them. Like for example, if I am going to be addressing mid-career professionals and senior professionals, I know that one of the top challenges that they currently face in their life is not being able to address an audience very confidently, and they know that it's acting as a major roadblock in their life. What if I go to them and say that, is the fear of public speaking acting as a major roadblock in your future career advancement? And I hold my silence. It will resonate with them because this is a challenge they are currently facing. And then they will give me the attention. Why? Because they think I have a solution for them. So then they're all ears. That is what marketers do. If I am going to run an ad on public speaking, and if I open the ad like that, maybe somebody is on YouTube, they're listening to music in their car, and an ad starts like that. Is the fear of public speaking acting as a major roadblock in your future career advancement? Instead of skipping the ad, I will listen because maybe I'm facing the problem. So when you understand your target audience really well, you understand the challenges that they face. If you can intelligently wrap that question, that challenge in the form of a question and throw it at them, it will resonate. They will give you the attention. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Do you agree? Yeah, correct. So that is what you do. You throw a question at your audience. Now imagine if you were to stand there and say, oh, my name is Percy Sudachia and I'm this and I'm that. I have so many years in the corporate world and then I start my coaching business. Imagine how much time you're losing. The audience has already removed their smartphone and they are already going through their own WhatsApp messages and emails because that is the biggest distractor sitting in their pocket. If you do not grab their attention in those first 5 seconds, they're definitely going to reach out for that phone of theirs. And once they do, they will disengage. And it is very difficult. It is next to impossible for you to earn their attention back. Okay. So please keep this in mind. So the first thing you do is you intelligently plan a statistic, a shocking statistic or a shocking fact. You throw it at the audience. I have seen this. I've seen amazing speakers do this in the corporate world and they succeed like anything. It works like magic because people are now they're listening, they're able to relate, and they're shocked because they don't want to be in that situation. So they think you have a solution, so they will listen to you. You can throw a question at them. Okay. Now I'll tell you a story. Okay. There was a there was a young boy in the US. All right. This is a true story. He was born in November 1921, 8 years before the Great Depression. So if you know, the Great Depression was a period of 10 years between 1929 and 1939, all right? During this period, it was a time of major economic collapse. People lost their jobs and businesses had to shut down and people were experiencing extreme poverty. Now, having born at that particular time, it's pretty unfortunate, right? Now, he was already born in a poor family, and to make things worse for him, this is what was happening, right? So he had a burning question from childhood inside of him that what if a boy like me, who has no special privileges, who's born in a poor family, who's in these difficult times, has big goals and aspirations, and wants to achieve great success in his life, and if he does achieve that success, would also like to be of great service to humanity. Is that even possible? That was a question burning inside of him. Is it that this is only limited to people who are born in rich families? What if a person like me has such goals? Can I even dream? Can I have a dream like this? Will I be able to achieve my goals ever in my life? So just like everybody else does, he too started to read books. So there was a library in Long Beach, California. He used to visit that library very often, and he would read a lot of books. He would read voraciously, trying to really find that answer. And guess what? He did. Like they say, that if you are really, if your desire is very strong, you have a burning desire to find something, eventually you find it. He found the answer. He applied those things to his life in his early 20s. He became one of the most successful people in the personal development space. He was a pioneer in the personal development space. He started teaching people how to succeed in their life. He was so successful that by the age of 35, he retired. He bought an insurance company, and he spent most of his time training those salespeople in the insurance company, helping them achieve their quotas. Now, there was that one time he planned a long vacation with his family. He never planned a lot of vacation, but suddenly he plans a long vacation with his family. Now, the sales manager of that insurance company was very concerned because he was very used to this person interacting directly with the salespeople, motivating them, inspiring them, and then they would achieve great results. But now he's going away. Who's going to motivate them in his absence? So he goes to him in a lot of distress and he says, "Look, I know you're going, it's important to you, fine, you can go, but I want you to record something." So he comes with a small little tape recorder. He says, "I want you to record something on this tape, and I will play it every single day in your absence to these salespeople." So he agrees. Now, what he records creates history. Okay. For the first time in his life, he shares the answer that he had found to that burning question he had. Okay. When he goes for on vacation and this recording was played to the sales in front of those salespeople were utterly electrified. They could not believe their ears. They all were ignited into action, and very soon they started earning a lot of money. They started becoming millionaires. So the word started to spread locally, nationally, eventually internationally. Requests started to come in for that recording. Okay, so very soon it became a commercial asset. Today, even after 60, 70 years, this same recording is evergreen. It is recommended that you listen to this recording once every single day for 1 month. Then after that, listen to it once every month for the rest of your life. Now, while you are listening to this story, tell me what is going on in your mind. Do you want to know who this person is? Can I also get this recording? Are you waiting for me to tell you that? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Is this going on in your mind right now? Right? What did I just do? Is the question. I'll give you the answer. The person I'm talking about is Earl Nightingale. And the recording I'm talking about is freely available on YouTube. It's called The Strangest Secret. Freely available. Go and listen to it. It's for free. 35-minute recording. Amazing is an understatement. It'll change your life forever. Okay. What did I do? I used a story, but this story was very intelligently crafted. That entire narrative was crafted very carefully. I deliberately was holding back few important pieces of information. Why? To create curiosity, to arouse your curiosity. Because I know you're going to think, okay, now he'll say his name, now he'll give away, right? That is what advertisers do, movie makers do. They try to arouse your curiosity. What is the goal? The goal is to arrest your attention, and you'll be able to hold your audience's attention because you're so curious. You want to be successful, you want to make a lot of money. What is the secret? I want to know the secret. Who's this person? Which recording? Right? Can you do that? Now, in the beginning, when you're telling a story, it does not have to be a 5 6 minute story. It has to be slightly small. The impact needs to land a little bit quickly. Like even in the case of Zach Ibrahim, when he threw that shock that Al Sayed Nusayr is my father, he said it towards the end, but initially he was saying something. So you have a little bit of time. While you are narrating, you go into that storytelling mode. One, of course, it will arouse their curiosity, but you're also able to connect with them on a personal and emotional level because you get into that storytelling mode. And we'll speak more on this tomorrow. Tomorrow is where we speak more on that. But this is the benefit of doing it. How many of you are able to resonate with this? Are you able to relate to this? If it worked on you, don't you think it's going to work on your audience? If that is what was going on in your mind, don't you think that if you do this to your audience, it'll work on them also? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah. So the first thing, you throw a shocking statistic or a shocking fact, a statement at your audience. It will help you get their attention. The second is that you throw a thought-provoking question. A better way to do it is to understand the challenges they face, wrap that challenge in the form of a question and throw it at them. All right. The third thing you do is that you tell them a story that will arouse their curiosity, but you plan it properly. You hold important pieces of information and then you tell them so that they are curious about it. You arouse their curiosity. That is what you do. That is why the opening is so important and it needs to be planned in advance. The opening and the closing are the only two parts of a talk that have to be planned word for word. You have to plan it word for word. Only then it will come out effectively. Because if you are going to depend on your mind's creativity at that point, it may not work. Creative ideas may not flow. Your mind may close in because you are doing something that you are a little bit fearful of, right? So it may or may not work. So you can't depend on your mind's creativity at that point. It may not happen. It may not work. So you plan this in advance and you start the talk the way you planned it. Then it will land. And this will take care of those early moment jitters as well because you will directly get into the rhythm. You have achieved your first goal of captivating the audience. Now you start the talk, right? Then there's another thing. See, now this lady here, her name is Amanda Palmer. She's a musician. She goes on the TED platform. Now she opens the talk in a very different way. Very different way. She is, for the first 30 seconds or so, she does not even open her mouth and say a single word. But the audience were totally tuned in. So she comes with all of these things. Okay. So she's got a stole in her hand. She's holding a flower. She's holding a hat with some money inside. And there's a crate that she is kicking. She's pushing the crate forward with her leg until she reaches a certain spot. So when she reaches there, she puts the crate in the right place. She puts the hat down. She stands on top of the crate. She adjusts the stole and she extends the flower like this to the audience. And then she opens the talk. She starts the talk. 30, 40 seconds, not a word came out of her mouth, but the audience were giving her the attention. Why do you think that's the case? What do you think she's doing here? What do you think she's doing? Why is it working without even talking? Why is it working for her? Think about it. What's happening? Anybody? There is a technique that she is using. Think about it. Anything comes to your mind? I'll tell you what it is. It is a display of a physical object. See, the thing is that human beings are so curious that the moment you display anything to them, they will turn and look. Even an animal will look. You show something to an animal, a physical object, the animal will also turn and look. A human being is sometimes more curious than the animal. So the audience is wondering, what in the world is she doing? Why is she bringing all this? You understand? The audience does not know that all of these things are planned in advance. All of these things are planned and they are trained. They are told to do this deliberately. Now, there are some people who like to show a nice video at first. They show some attractive slide, something that grabs their attention. Some people use props. There was a neuroscientist or I think a brain surgeon who came who got a human brain on the platform during a TED talk. So when you bring a physical object, a prop or a demonstration, okay, it is inevitably going to get you the audience's attention because the audience will definitely want to know what in the world are you doing with all this, right? So these are techniques of grabbing the audience's attention. These are four very powerful ways that you can grab the audience's attention. Okay. Now, see, I'm going to tell you a story of one of our members. See, when Deepak is our diamond member, okay, he's been with us long term. So he decided to continue this journey with us after, being a part of a similar workshop like this. He is an educator. He's an assistant professor at a college in Nagpur. At a senior college, he teaches political science. Deepak comes from a rural background. When he came to me, he says that I have a major inferiority complex because of my background, because of my inability to speak fluent English. He says that in my education circle, I feel very embarrassed at times. There are so many people with PhDs and all, they come and they give talks, and I feel very left out. Even I want to be able to do that, you know. So this is the reason why I want to enroll for this program. Now, when he started to become a storyteller and he started to understand the underlying principles of becoming a powerful communicator, he started to apply those things in his life. Now, does he still make a few grammatical errors? Does he mispronounce words? Yeah, yes, he does. But has that changed something in him? What about his level of confidence? What I'm going to show you right now is a video he has created only to talk about his experience and how he feels about everything. This man is now able to speak at length. So if you watch his videos, some of his mission videos that he completes that we do on a weekly basis, he's able to speak for 10 minutes, for 15 minutes, for 20 minutes without any cuts. I'm just going to give you a glimpse of him sharing his experience, but look at the way he is talking. Okay, so here it is.
Hello, my name is Deepak. I work as a assistant professor at a college over the last 5 years. Due to the village and rural upbringing of mine, I couldn't have developed that kinds of the robust and solid confidence when it comes to speak on any public speaking situation. But when I came in touch with the Parishesh Udachia and when I joined his Super Resources Academy, I completely discarded and removed my restlessness and inferior complexity, and all credit goes to him because the way he mentors and guides, it's a very fabulous his way of teaching, and that's why I completely mesmerized and captivated by his way of teaching, and brick by brick he makes us facilitate and accelerated the growth of our confidence. And once you build the unwavering and unshakable confidence, then no matter what kinds of the threatening and challenging speaking situations, because of his mentoring, you are going to manage the speaking situations in a very very impressive and eloquent manner. And that is the power of his teaching, and definitely I always will be indebted to him because of his mentoring. Thank you, sir, so much.
This was more of an emotional experience for me. When I saw this video, I was very impressed beyond words. I was like, I could not even believe my eyes and ears that a person coming from the kind of background he says he comes from, and is able to talk like this. Okay. And numerous times he has told me that his colleagues have really noticed a major change in him, right? See, that is what happens when you understand certain principles of communication. That is when you will realize that good communication is all about impact. It has very little to do with your language fluency, your grammar. All of those things will also start to fall in place eventually. But what matters is, can you still have an impact on another person through your communication? So when you learn these things, when you learn how to open your talk in a scientific way, when you learn how to put structure to your talk in a scientific way, where you are taking into consideration human psychology, then it is simply inevitable that the audience will feel inspired, they will feel motivated, they will feel persuaded to take some sort of an action. These are principles you have to understand and incorporate in your speaking. See, understand what we are trying to do here. We are raising the bar very high. I am trying to train you to become an orator. Who is an orator? An orator is someone who is able to stand in front of a massive audience and speak. If you are able to do that, if you're trained for that, what about giving an interview or conducting an interview or standing in front of three, four people in the office, team meetings? Would you even be bothered about that? That will inevitably become better as a side effect. That is a side effect. It'll work on that side effect. We do not take the band aid approach. What we do, we take a holistic approach. We raise the bar very high. Go and listen to any orator speak in their day to day language. Any good orator is also powerful in any speaking engagement, whether it is a team meeting they are conducting, whether they're in front of their senior management team, in front of their boss, in front of a customer. They're very powerful there also, because they have become good at that as a side effect of being trained to be a powerful orator. Do you agree or you disagree with me? Tell me. If you are trained to be an orator and you're able to pull that off really well, would you even be concerned about those small things in the office? Tell me, yes, no, maybe. Will that not work? Will that not work on you as a side effect? So you don't even focus on that. That is what happens. That is what happens. So what we do, we will look at the holistic picture. We do not take the band-aid approach. I repeat myself, no band-aid approach. All right. Raise the bar very high. We have to raise our standards, and then everything is going to change. That's the expansive identity that I'm talking about, right? You build such an expansive identity with such powerful habits that it is all encompassing. It encapsulates everything. It takes everything into all aspects of your life into it. That is the way we get trained. Okay. So that is the power of it all. Now we have to achieve a level one, level two today. Again, what do we do? So we identified the key message yesterday. So what is clear right now? For any speaker, you need clarity. Okay, you need clarity because if you are going to go in front of an audience and you want to inspire them, motivate them, influence them, they have to understand your talk with a lot of clarity and structure. That can only happen if you have proper clarity and structure in your own mind when it comes to your talk. So now yesterday's exercise has enabled you to get some clarity in terms of what is your topic, who is your target audience, what is your goal, and what is the key message that you ultimately wish to deliver to the audience through your talk as a result of your talk. That is clear. So the ultimate thing is the very first thing you found out, and that's going to be the foundation on top of which you're going to build the rest of your talk. What is the next level for you? Now you are going to plan the opening. How do you open this powerful talk of yours in a way that will help you arrest the audience's attention the moment you talk? That's level two. So, like yesterday, you complete your level two, you earn another 2000 points. Now, I'm going to give you a demonstration of this. I'm going to give you a demonstration. But first, I'm going to show you something. Okay. I'm going to show you something. Hold on. So let's open ChatGPT. Again, you can use ChatGPT here. All right. I'm also going to share this document with you, which are basically openings used by very famous TED speakers. So, like shocking statements are being used, question being used, telling a story, how displaying a physical object. Jill Taylor, this is the lady I'm talking about who brings a brain on the TED platform. Okay. She doesn't use it right in the beginning, but she does it a little bit later. But essentially, in essence, the technique remains the same. You could do it right in the beginning. Watch these talks also. I'll share this document with you. Now let's use ChatGPT to do all the creative stuff for us. Okay. So yesterday I gave you a prompt to come up with the opening. So you told ChatGPT that, okay, this is my topic. These are my target audience. And this is my goal. Can you give me a nice key message for my audience? It gave it to you. So now you have your key message. Let's use that key message, yeah, and use it in another prompt to give us different openings. Okay. So what if we tell ChatGPT that I will be delivering a talk on digital transformation to a bunch of chief financial officers of large manufacturing companies? My key message to them, this is identified. My key message to them through my 18-minute TED style talk is leverage digital transformation to drive financial innovation and global competitiveness. Help me craft an engaging and captivating opening that will grab the audience's attention the moment I start the talk. Let this opening be in the form of a shocking statement or a shocking statistic, a thought provoking question, a story to arouse their curiosity, and a physical display of an object. So I'm asking for four different options. Okay. So let's see what it did. Shocking statistic in a corporate setup. You could use something like this. So if you are, say, at a CFO conference and you have an opportunity to stand in front of these CFOs, and you know that there are some challenges they are facing, and some of them have not adopted digital transformation, this is going to work on them. So if you start the talk like this, did you know that globally industries lose over 600 billion each year due to inefficiencies that digital transformation could solve? As CFOs, every fraction of that amount should strike a chord. Today, I will demonstrate how not just to save that fraction, but to turn these potential losses into gains for competitive superiority. Would that not enable you to grab their attention? These are problems they are facing. Now you are scaring them. You are scaring them that, okay, these things are happening. Okay. I remember working for companies. I was working for a contract life cycle management company where we were helping people manage their contracts. And we were giving examples of other companies where there were missed obligations that led to a very big lawsuit, resulting in millions of dollars of losses. That is a shock. Am I not using a shocking statement? Am I not arousing their curiosity in the corporate setup? Why would it not work in the corporate setup? It will work. It will work. It has worked. I have used it. I have used it. It works. Okay. Thought provoking question. Same thing. Okay. What if I told you that the decision to digitally transform your operations could be the difference between leading the market and chasing it? How would you decide to act if the future of your company depended on the single choice? Let's explore how this is not just a possibility, but a reality for those who embrace digital transformation. Here's how you can. So a kind of a problem is wrapped and it is thrown at people. When you understand your audience, this happens. Now see the story, okay? You arouse their curiosity. A short little story, and notice how we are holding important pieces of information back, okay? Let me take you back to a small manufacturing company in 2008, struggling to keep afloat during financial crisis, but with a bold decision to digitize their supply chain. They not only survived but thrived, outpacing competitors who hesitated. This firm, once on the brink of collapse, is now a leading exporter. Today, I'll share how the journey can be your blueprint for success. What will be in their mind? They want to know which company is this? What in the world did they do that they were able to achieve these things? Now they know hearts of hearts that they have not yet digitized their internal processes, and that is very scary. They know that there is a lot of manual process in the company that leads to a lot of errors, and this could someday create a massive problem, and their neck is going to be on the line someday, right? So they will give you the attention because now they're curious. Physical object. Now see, this is so silly, okay? They're saying hold a watch in front of the audience like this and say, consider this watch a marvel of industry components working in perfect harmony. Yet even if one gear fails, the whole watch stops. Similarly, in our business, traditional processes are these gears, critical but often inefficient. What if each gear was digitally enhanced? Let's delve into how digital transformation synchronizes these gears, not just to keep time, but to race against it and win globally. What does a watch have to do with digital transformation? Nothing. But it best exemplifies something. But the very fact that you are displaying this physical object, the very fact that you're doing that, they're giving you attention. Please understand that's how human psychology works. There is no logic to it, but that's how human psychology works. You show anything. Why do you think I showed you all these books? Why do you think I showed you all these books? I didn't have to. I deliberately showed you the books. I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to prove a point to you. I'm deliberately displaying a physical object because my intention is to grab your attention. Are you convinced that these methods are very powerful? Are you convinced now? Yes, no, maybe. And the fact that if you are going to start using these methods, it'll be very powerful. Please understand what we are learning. We are learning to be orators. Get it out of your mind that this is only applicable to your team meetings and those things that you do. We are learning to be orators. All right. When you learn to be an orator, all these things are going to be inevitable. So tomorrow, if you're going to be leading your department and you're going to be addressing, you're going to be, say, during the all hands meet of a company, or maybe a quarterly business review where you represent your department in front of the organization every single quarter, these things are going to come in handy. And if this is the way you're going to open the talk, imagine how the top management will start seeing you. They will see a true leader in you, a true leader. This is how leaders open talks. This is how, because they understand human psychology. I have seen corporate leaders firsthand. I have worked closely with founders of companies and I see how they open talks. They create some drama on the platform. They all do. They all do. Believe me, they do. Okay. And we have to learn to do that. It's not always about holding a straight face and only speaking to the point and start throwing numbers at people immediately. That is the biggest mistake that you're going to make. I have corporate leaders come and tell me that, I put so much of effort in my presentation, but I see people constantly checking their phones and walking in and out of my session. I feel really bad. But then they have not understood these simple things. They've not been officially trained. They're not incorporating these simple yet very potent, powerful things. They have to understand human psychology. Okay. So now, if you have to incorporate this in your talk, okay, for your level one, what will you do? I'll give you an example. What you have to do today, and I'll also share a sample video with you like yesterday, so don't worry. But I'm going to give you a live demonstration right now. Whatever you did yesterday, you will do it again. Plus, you will add something to it. Okay. So you are again going to tell us that, okay, what is your topic? Who is your target audience? What is your goal? What is your key message? And then you will say, if this target audience was in front of me right now, here's how I plan to open my talk. And you open the talk that way. You can choose one type of an opening. You can combine two types, three types. You can combine different types of openings. No problem. You can use that. Okay. So I'll give you an example. So I'll say, hi, my name is Perseus. My topic for today is personality development. My target audience is final year MBA students, my goal is to impress upon them that while they are in the midst of, acquiring all this technical skills and domain knowledge through their formal education and the internships that they've gone through, I would like them to also focus on developing their personality, particularly developing their ability to communicate effectively, because when they enter the professional world, this will be life transforming for them. It will really take them a long way. Now, so my key message to them is personality development is the key to your success. Now, if this audience was in front of me right now, here's how I plan to open my talk. Did you know that more than 1.5 lakh students pass out every single year with the same qualification as you? And all of you are going to be after the same employers. You want the same salary packages and you want to serve the same clients and customers. And while all of you are shouting out loud, hire me, pay me, promote me, what in the world do you think those employers are hearing, if at all they hear anything? All they hear is noise. And what do you think people do when they hear noise? They close their ears. So my question to you is, what is that one thing that you bring to the table that will make you stand out from the crowd? So do you want to be a part of this ocean of sameness, or do you want to be just a little bit different so that the potential employers are able to see you for the unique skills and value that you bring to the table? Thank you. That's all. That's how I plan to open the talk. So it is shocking. I used a combination, if you noticed. Okay. That's a combination. So you are telling them that, boss, there are lakhs of students who will pass out like you. Okay. Everybody wants to work for the same company. They want to work, they want the same salary packages. Right. And everybody is going and shouting out loud, looking the same, behaving the same, not looking any different than the other. Then why would a potential employer see you as being so unique, and why would they give you the job? So you shock them. You create that little urgency. Now they feel that I have a solution. Will they not give me attention? They will give me attention. If I open the talk right in the beginning, I shock them. Right in the beginning, I shock them like that. Right? And I use combinations. I shocked them. I use a shocking statistic. I ask them a thought-provoking question. I used a combination. Be creative. Okay. So that's why I'm saying use ChatGPT and be as creative as you possibly can. All right. What I will do is I will also share this another sample video similar to this, what I just did, in the WhatsApp group, so that you have something to refer to and create something similar. So the idea is that you redo what you did yesterday so that your entire structure becomes even more clear to you in your own mind, and you go a level forward now. It's level 2, right? So you go one step forward and you say that if this audience was in front of me right now, here's how I plan to open my talk, right? How do you feel about this right now? Do you think now it's going in the right direction, enabling you to become a very powerful speaker, a speaker who understands human psychology, a speaker who will be able to inevitably inspire, motivate, and influence? If you actually start to deliver your talk like this, are you getting a little more convinced and more, sort of satisfied with your own ability now? So you started the process. So there has to be that some level of satisfaction that, yes, I think I did well. Now I'm a little more, I have some clarity in front of me right now, right? Yeah. Lot more convincing, yet a little overwhelming. It's really not, okay? It's really not. It's easy. It's easier than you can even begin to think. And when you'll find out it's easy? Just an hour after this session, when you record your video, it's going to be so simple. You will realize it after doing it, only after doing it. And don't worry, see, we are not looking for perfection. We are looking for consistency. That's what I tell even my diamond members. We are looking for consistency, no perfection. Over time, because of that constant repetition, it will become your second nature. You would have formed those neuron connections in your brain, and it will become a subconscious activity for you, unconscious competence, right? That is what we are going to achieve. Yes, Smark, you're all silver members, correct? So there is an option for you to become a diamond member as well. If you all would like to know more about that, I will address that on day 4. I can talk about that on day 4. So you will know what the diamond membership is all about also. Of course, if I have your permission, if all of you give me your permission to share something about the diamond membership, then I will. Okay. Would you like me to? Would anybody be interested in knowing what the diamond membership is all about? Okay. Others? Nayan, thanks. Others would like to know? At least give me 3 S's. Yes. Oh, yes, I will share the chat GPT prompt. Yes. Thank you so much. Interested. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will definitely, it's my promise. I'll do it on day 4. Okay. Day 4, I will definitely do it. Towards the end, we'll finish what we have to do. Our program is important. We do that. And then we'll get on that also. Okay. Awesome. Now I'll share the chat GPT prompt right now so that you can get started before I share it in WhatsApp, but I'll share it in the WhatsApp group also. Okay. So here's the chat GPT prompt. Just get started immediately. I'll share this also over here. 1 minute. So let me share this document to give you examples of openings used by TED speakers. Okay. You're welcome, Rashi. Okay, one important announcement I have to make. Now, tomorrow is Independence Day. It's a holiday for everybody, correct? Nobody is working, I'm sure, right? Is it okay if we do our session at 5 p.m. tomorrow, 5 to 6? Is everybody fine with that? Can we do it at 5 p.m.? I don't want to cancel the session. I know it's Independence Day. I know it's your holiday, but I don't want to break the rhythm. I just hope you all understand. So I'll do it early so that you have a rest of your evening with your family. So you can go out and have fun. Okay? Is that okay? 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So 5 to 6, and that way we don't break the rhythm at all. I will also make the announcement in the WhatsApp group so that in case people did not attend, they'll find out. Yeah, you can also watch the recording. That is on an option, but it's always good to be a part of the live sessions. But of course, if you watch the recording, the experience is going to be the same. It's the exact same thing that you see. So fantastic. Thank you so much. I'll just allow you all to unmute in case anybody wants to say something, has a question. I'll give you like 5 minutes. Anybody has a question, any doubts? Okay. Anybody wants to say anything?
Hi.
Hey,
First, this is
just
Rashi. Yes.
Rashi, 1 minute. Okay, let me just put you. Naved, I'll just let you know. Okay, it is already there in the WhatsApp group, but I'll share it again. Yeah, Rashi, can you turn your video on if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yes, Rashi. Yes, tell us.
So I just wanted a kind of a rating on the videos that we shared for
Okay.
the one. So that would really help. I mean, for
Mhm.
myself, it would really help me to improve and know, what
Mhm.
can I do to add
Sure.
that kind of.
Your video is very good, Rashi. Believe me, I really liked your video. Firstly, you spoke at length. I think towards the end you were referring to some notes, which is fine. Were you referring to something? Okay.
I had just some keywords planned because I
Keywords.
think I took
Keywords. Yeah.
take before I actually got down to.
Yeah.
Uh,
What I what I really appreciate when speakers are able to speak without referring to things. Okay. What I appreciate is when a speaker internalizes their content and they deliver. Okay. I remember I used to make a lot of reels. I'm getting a little bit occupied, so I'm not able to create that organic content, but I love to do that. And it doesn't take me more than 5 minutes to record a reel. What I do is I plan my talking points and I deliver without seeing anything so that it comes out in a natural and authentic way, that flow. It's a conversational pace, a conversational tone, right? Now, there was another coach friend of mine who was watching my reels and she approached me. She says, fantastic reel. She messages me, which teleprompter are you using? I was like, I'm not using any teleprompter. Why would I use a teleprompter? And she was really shocked that all my reels are created without a teleprompter. I asked her, do you find my eyes moving from left to right? Do you think I'm reading? She says, no, actually, yeah, it doesn't look like that. But I thought you were using a teleprompter. See, that's the problem. When people are making organic content, they are not even looking straight into the lens of the camera, they're looking down. Now, as of right now, Rashi, if I have to look at you, I have to see down. My laptop is here. You are here. But you notice I'm looking here. Why? My camera is separate. Now, when I'm looking here, I can't see you. But for you to feel that I'm making eye contact, I look straight into the lens of the camera. These are things you have to take care of if you want to connect with the audience, whether you are in front of them or it is virtual. These are few things you have to take care of. All right. So while you all are recording videos, take care of these simple things. So, like, see, this is your phone. Don't look at yourself here on the screen. You see the small little dot here? This is the camera. Look at here. Look here. Right? That will make me feel that you're making eye contact with me. Spend a little time, internalize your content, rehearse it a couple of times, say it like that. See, that is where you are trusting your ability to retain things, internalize the content, and deliver. I did it live in front of you without any preparation, correct? So it's so much possible, no? But otherwise, I found your video really good, Rashi, because I found that you spoke without referring to things, except towards the end when I saw you looking down. But otherwise, it was really good. So keep it up.
Thank you.
Excellent. Great, great. Awesome. Anybody else? Okay, Smart, give me a minute. I'll just read your comment. What does that say? This comes with experience and lots of book reading, content gathering. Yes and no. You know, see, we have ChatGPT, correct? So when you want to prepare for a talk, see, even if you've read a lot of books, you can't possibly remember all of that content, correct? So preparation comes into the into the picture. So you can sit with ChatGPT. ChatGPT will help you with a lot of your content. So when I have to make reels, I have dedicated a window on ChatGPT where it is helping me create my video content. ChatGPT gives me talking points, but then I don't read out of there. Okay, I'll just show you, Manju. I don't read out of there. What I do is I customize it. I give it my personal flavor to it, and then I try to internalize and remember the content, and I deliver. I make the videos. Correct. So that is what you do. So I plan for these things. I use ChatGPT. So you can depend on that. Okay. Technology is wonderful. It's a boon. It is there to help us. It will work like magic for you. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'll talk about ChatGPT. Okay, so great. No worries at all. I'll show it to you. It's very simple. What you do is, see, I'm using a paid version. I'm paying like 2,500 every single month to ChatGPT. You don't have to do that. Don't panic. Okay. You can use the free version. What you do, you go to a website called as OpenAI. OpenAI. Okay. Open it, openai.com. Open the site. What do you do? You'll get a desktop version. There is a something on the phone as well. All right. So go to products. Over here, go to products. Then go to, see here it says ChatGPT login because I'm already logged in. But over here, you'll see an option to actually download a desktop version of it for free. So this directly opens my ChatGPT here, but I'm using ChatGPT 4. You can get ChatGPT some 3.5 or something for free. So please use that. Okay. And here's where you type the prompt, you enter, it will give you the result. You don't like the result, you can re-enter or you can ask it to produce another output. Okay. So your prompts are very important. I hope this helps. Is this easy to understand? Just go to openai.com, go to products, go to ChatGPT, get the desktop version, use the free one, and it's as good as the paid one. But of course, the paid one is a lot better because it's good in terms of its analytical capabilities. You don't need that right now. You only need it for content creation. The free version is enough. Prompts. So Rashi, when you speak to someone and you want to say something, okay, you want something from me. So you ask me a question. If your question is clear, and if I understand your question clearly, you will get a proper answer from me, correct? Treat ChatGPT as though you are talking to a person. Speak with clarity. It's like a child. You have to speak with utmost clarity. The more clear your input prompt, the better response. But it is very intelligent. If there are typos, spelling mistakes, wrong grammar, it still understands your question. And it understands the context also. So if there are, say, 3-4 prompts already given and there are responses there, in the same window, it will remember the context. So you don't have to keep repeating that context again and again. So when you are preparing for your talk, it knows that you're working on creating a TED style talk. You don't have to tell it again and again. It knows it. Okay. So that's how it works. Just play around with it, get used to it. It's a blessing, believe me. It's a total blessing. Use it, use technology. It's very important. All right. Anything else before we close? How was your experience today? How was
Yeah,
the
Percy,
experience?
hi, Percy, it's Jignesh here.
Hey, Jignesh, give me 1 second. Okay. I'll just put you, I'll add a, can you turn your video on, Jignesh, if you don't mind?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, hi.
Hey, Jignesh. Hi.
I have an issue regarding the fluency in talking. How
Okay.
to overcome that?
Fluency, what do you mean by that? Are you talking about your English fluency or are you talking about not remembering what you have to say?
Not remembering what we need to say. Actually,
Yeah.
we have our thought process going in our mind,
Yeah.
but that does not comes out
Yes.
of your mouth.
Yes. Jignesh, it is your memory is a muscle that responds to training. I have struggled with this. I have made a fool of myself thousands of times, believe me. I have freezed in front of people, important people. I have freezed in front of them and I made a fool of myself. Until I faced those experiences and I realized that preparation is key. A prepared speaker deserves to be fluent and confident on the platform. Remember that I even said this yesterday. The more you prepare, the more you internalize the content. And if the content is on the forefront of your mind, it'll start to flow. The less you depend on a script and the less you depend on a crutch, your mind is getting trained to retain information and it will start to flow. It's a muscle that responds to training. So allow the mind to do that. Most people, we are not allowing our mind. We want to take the easy route. We want to read from somewhere. So we are not training the mind. You understand, the mind is far more capable than you can even begin to imagine right now. So start doing it, prepare more, internalize the content, rehearse a little. Even if it's a meeting that you have to go for, I used to prepare for my meetings. Every Tuesday, I used to have a meeting with my manager. I would prepare for those meetings, what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. So when I'm then in the moment of truth, it would come out in a certain flow. If you've done it before, it will come out effortlessly at that point. So do it. Most people underestimate the power and the importance of preparation. That is the only reason why they're not fluent on the platform. Fluency is almost entirely a matter of preparation. One word it comes down to. Okay. Just
Yes.
prepare well and it will work for you, Jignesh. Believe me. Start today. Today, don't use a script. Don't read anything. Prepare, rehearse it, internalize the content, and you deliver this. You will be so very proud of yourself if you do it today. Trust me, do it today. And prove it to
Sure.
everybody that it can be done. More importantly, prove it to yourself that it can be done. All right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Hello.
Jignesh. All right.
Hello.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
See, Rashi writes she took 12 retakes for that video. 12 retakes. Have you seen her video? Watch her video. She spoke for 2 minutes 43 seconds. Correct, Rashi? Am I right? Is that the number?
Yes.
How do I remember? Right? Right? She spoke for 2 minutes 43 seconds. After, see what we always see. That's what I always say. What we see is the tip of the iceberg. What we don't see is what is beneath. What struggles people go through that we don't see. That is the thing. So when you see a smooth finish, you think that the person is a born speaker. They are born like that. They are made to speak like that automatically, right? It is an inherent quality. But what we don't understand that all great speakers were bad speakers at some point. There's a lot of effort and struggle that goes behind something. In the corporate world, when Steve Jobs would prepare for a product launch, that 20-minute product launch, 20-minute effortless product launch that it appears on to all of us, it would take 3 months of preparation. So much of preparation goes into it. Because so much of preparation went into it, it came out effortlessly. That is what people don't understand. They think that people are natural speakers and it's so effortless for them. They just come and speak from their heart. They are knowledgeable and that's all. Knowledge alone is never going to be enough. You may be very knowledgeable about everything in the whole world, but if you do not practice the delivery, if you're not used to delivering what you know to an audience, you will still fail. So practice is important, preparation is very important. Okay. So I hope that I know a very long answer to a short question, but I hope that helped. Great. Thank you,
It was
Jignesh.
very important and very truly said from your side. Thank you.
Yes, you're most welcome. Smark, absolutely right, right? So that's the thing. So you have to put in that practice, you have to put in that effort. And if you are in the right proximity, you are in the proximity of the right people, you are going to be inspired and motivated to continue on the journey. People lack inspiration and motivation to continue on this journey because they're left alone. And generally speaking, people don't work on themselves. They get busy. Like I said, the biggest disease of today is I am busy, because they are so busy. They never work on themselves until there comes a point in their life when they realize, they get a shock in their life, and they realize that so many years have gone by. I've not worked on myself. So many years, my ability to do certain things have actually deteriorated rather than go up. That's what happens, right? So you have to continuously work on yourself. Okay. How to start a talk during a technical discussion went blank actually. Can you say that? Can you unmute yourself, Smart? Can you expand on that? So you're saying that while talking, you went blank. Is that what you mean? Yeah. So see, I'll tell you what happens. The reason why we are going blank, again, the answer is the same. Okay. It is preparation. See, what is fluency? You have to understand what fluency is. So when Jignesh said fluency, I immediately asked him, what does he mean? Is he talking about language fluency, or is he talking about going blank? Because a lot of people feel fluency is all about language, but it's not. Fluency is all about being able to deliver a talk without your mind going blank, without getting those early moment jitters, right? Without you fumbling, and without your body language becoming awkward. All of those things are happening because we are too self-conscious. We are giving undue attention to the self rather than focusing on the message that we have come to deliver. If we focus on the message that we have come to deliver, and we have an emotional connection with that particular topic because of all that specialized knowledge that we have acquired, and that relevant experience that we have gained, and we have gained mastery in our field, then the question of going blank will not even arise. Because firstly, it's something that you are very knowledgeable about, you have a lot of experience in. So even if you go blank, you can still pull it off because you are a master at your craft. Correct? It generally happens when maybe we are talking about a piece of technology that we are still learning, we have still not mastered. So that is an alarm for us that, okay, I think that I need to work on myself a little more. I need to gather more knowledge. I need to organize my thoughts a little better. I need to structure my talk well. If the structure of your talk is imprinted here, even if you forget something, you'll quickly be able to move to the next point. You'll simply eliminate that. The audience will not come to know. But that structure in your mind is going to help you pull it off, right? That is what we do. We learn how to put a structure to your talk in a very scientific way, which incorporates all the different elements that trigger inspiration, motivation, and influence. And all of this together will not let you lose, derail, get derailed on this path. Okay. So practice, practice, and practice. Internalize your content. You've got to internalize it to a point where somebody woke you up in the middle of the night, you can still pull it off. That is the level of internalization. Do you know that TED Talks, 9 out of 10 talks are 100% memorized word for word? Now, that is not the style of delivery that works for everybody. It doesn't work with me. It does not work for me. I do not like to deliver a fully memorized talk. I like to use in the moment language, but I am prepared. There is unconscious memorization happening because, see, if I'm driving down and I'm preparing for something, while I'm driving to the venue, I am preparing in my mind, I am delivering the talk constantly. So while I'm using in the moment language, when I actually go and I deliver the talk, I realize that the words that I was using during my rehearsals in the moment language, the same words are coming out of my mouth then. So there was unconscious memorization taking place, whether I knew it or I did not know it. So preparation is key. You will not go blank if you are prepared properly, if your content has been internalized. All right. This is the only remedy to it. I hope that is a convincing answer for you. Smark, is it? Okay, great. All right, excellent. So anybody else has any other question, any doubts, any concerns? So I look forward to seeing your videos. Yes, yes, Manisha, give me 1 minute. Okay, I'll just highlight your video. Yes, Manisha, please.
Yeah, that's what however we memorize our content, but as soon as we turn on our camera for recording, or as soon as I start speaking in a group of even 10 people,
Yeah,
I just forget everything. I just go
I
blank.
understand. I
Yeah, and
understand.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a minute. Yeah, I beg to differ on this practice point because
Mm-hmm.
my husband is a natural speaker. He
Mm-hmm.
can speak on any topic for that matter in front
Mm-hmm.
of 1,000 people. So he
Mm-hmm.
just goes and delivers the lecture. So
Yeah.
I don't, so that's the reason my confidence further goes down, because I feel if he can speak in front of 1,000 people, why can't I
Mm-hmm.
speak in front of 10 people, even if I am prepared?
Yeah.
That's it.
Manisha, believe me, until you get to that point, you will never be able to connect the dots. Like Steve Jobs always said, you can always connect the dots when you look backward. So when you have reached a certain level, you'll be able to connect the dots that this has actually worked for me. Okay. I have been a person who has struggled with communication. Okay. I had an ability, I had a major speech impediment, as I said, right? Stammering to a point where I could not say a single sentence without stammering, right? Now, how does a person deal with this? If I have to, in the corporate world, in a sales role, if I have to give presentations, how do I deal with this? Can you imagine the nightmares I have gone through? What do you think has worked for me? Okay. And I still struggled despite of the practice. But you know what changed everything for me? When I became a coach, I had to record content, right? Now, initially, it was very overwhelming for me and very daunting. It was a daunting task to sit in front of a camera and record. And I realized how difficult it was. That it is so difficult to sit and look into the lens of a camera and appear so natural as if I'm having a conversation with someone. I was so conscious of even turning my camera on during meetings. I was so conscious. I would keep it off. I would give excuses that my camera is not turning on, it's not working. I remember doing these things. Okay. But I realized that the more and more content I recorded, like Rashi said something very important, 12 retakes for the same thing. So you record, you watch yourself back, you got feedback. You didn't like it so much. You did it again, again, and again, and again, until you were a little bit satisfied. Now you're getting somewhere. Now you're getting somewhere. You're seeing that little naturalness come into the picture. You're able to make proper eye contact. You're using proper hand gestures. You are loosening up. You're loosening up. It's like a new actor who's very stiff at first, but the more and more they act, the naturalness starts to come eventually to a point where they don't even need any retakes. Okay. Who appears as a natural speaker to you may have also struggled at some point. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know. Correct?
Correct.
See, it is one thing to be able to speak in a casual conversation, but it is another thing to be in front of a massive audience and speak at length in a very structured and organized manner. Go and ask your husband if he does not prepare for a talk. He will tell you with absolute certainty that he prepares. You
No, he
cannot
can
go in front
actually
of a
he can
large
go just he can deliver impromptu lectures. That is his,
impromptu.
yeah.
Is he a lecturer or what is he?
No,
Is he a
no, he
professor
isn't. No, no, he was working as an MD.
and working as an MD? Okay. But
Yeah.
see, there is, like I say, now I don't put in, I don't make detailed notes anymore. I have come to a point where I can do quick mental preparation. My wife is not even aware of what preparation I am doing. Like I said, I'm driving down, I am
Correct,
rehearsing in my mind. I'm
correct.
rehearsing in my mind. You don't even know how the person is preparing, but the person is
Yeah,
preparing. The person
correct.
is preparing. So ask him if he does even a little bit of mental preparation or he
Mm,
simply goes and shows up. He doesn't simply
correct.
show up.
Yeah,
Ask him that. He
that
prepares.
must be, yeah, yeah. That must be
Yeah. So
very
that is the
present.
thing. That is the
Yeah.
whole thing, Manisha. So never underestimate the importance of preparation. It's very important. Today, you have to take a lot of effort. Tomorrow, you'll reach a stage where it is an effortless preparation process for you. It doesn't take a lot of time, where people don't even notice that you are preparing. Okay. So that's
Correct.
how it works. But keep it up. I watched your video. I really liked it. Okay. So
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
you're struggling. Okay. You're doing well.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you have been observing all the videos so closely, and you remember all the details
Oh, I
about
remember everything,
all the
Manisha.
videos. That is really
I remember
incredible.
everything because I'm used to doing it. I do it with my diamond members. They record long videos. I send them personal voice messages with my feedback. I'm used to doing it. Understand? So it is very effortless for me. I don't sit and type my feedback. I will record a voice message of 5 minute, a 5 minute long voice message giving detailed feedback on every video. So I'm very used to doing this. I'm very observant. I pick up every little thing. Okay. So I am watching your videos very closely. Put in the effort, prepare well, and I'm telling you, your future self will definitely thank you for it. Believe me. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so.
Great, great. All right. Anybody else has any other question? I know it's been like 30 minutes more. I'm really sorry for that, but I hope it helped. I just hope that it helped. This extra time that we've taken. Okay.
And it was in our interest. It was for us.
Absolutely. Great. Thank
I
you.
have-
Yes,
I
Nayan.
have-
Yeah. Nayan, 1 minute.
Hope
Okay.
you don't have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you don't have your call at 8:30.
No, I don't. Not today. No, not today. It's tomorrow. But tomorrow, I'm not doing that call. I'm not doing that call with my diamond members because that's an ongoing thing. But I don't want to miss out on the session with you all because it's a 4-day workshop. So I'm going to do it at 5. Okay. Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
problem what I face.
Yeah.
When I speak, sometimes I mispronounce the word.
Yeah.
For example, if it is in flow, sometimes she, for example, so sometimes I mispronounce it like C, which
I
is
see.
SHE should be like she. But
Yeah.
being an individual word, I can pronounce it clearly. But when
Yeah.
it is in the flow, I make such kind of mistakes. So is there
Yeah.
any way to avoid
Yes.
such kind of
Yes,
mistakes?
there is. You know why you're doing that? There is an influence of your mother tongue, the language you speak at home.
Mhm.
You speak Marathi at home, correct?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Because you speak Marathi at home, the sir sound comes out more than anything else. Okay. So it's the mother tongue influence that is coming inside. You have a course available to you called the accent neutralization formula. If you
but-
go through that, it will add a lot of value to your life. See, English has only and only 44 elementary sounds. Whatever is coming out of my mouth right now, I am only manipulating. I'm sorry. I'm only manipulating these 44 sounds. And if you feel that I land up pronouncing my words the way they should be pronounced, it is because I am making the right sound. See, there's something called as articulation, enunciation, and accentuation. Okay. Articulation simply means that you know which sounds are present in the word and you use only those sounds and you make those sounds properly. Accentuation simply means that you stress on certain syllables in a word, like photographer. There are 4 syllables in the word photographer. Photographer. Okay, I don't say photographer, photographer, right? That is accentuation. Enunciation means that I know which sounds are present in the word, so I remove all the sounds without eating up words. Americans are pretty good at destroying the language at times because they are eating up sounds. When I have to say I am going, they will say go in, come in, right? They are eating up sounds. They are not enunciating properly. But they can get away with it because in general they speak well. They have that proper rhythmic tone of speaking, which is perfect English, because English is a language that you cannot speak flat. It's a very stressed language. Correct? There are certain syllables that get stressed and some don't. There are languages like Italian and French which are very syllabic. Every syllable has the same stress, is the machine gun effect, but English is not spoken like that. Okay. So I would highly recommend that whenever you are free, even after the 4-day workshop gets over, the accent neutralization formula is something you always have access to. There are powerful 50 pre-recorded sessions, 50. I am instructing there. 44 elementary sounds are in there. Every video, one sound, I have created a video for it. Practice those sounds, and then you'll be able to get over this. All right. It's about neutralizing our accent. That is what it is all about. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going through that
Manish?
video, and
Yeah.
it is, but the problem is like when I'm in the flow, I generally do commit that mistake rather than.
I understand. See, it's a matter of practice,
Yeah.
man. So when you see what's important, awareness is important. At least you are aware that you are making this mistake. There are some people who are not even aware, right? When you are aware, that is the first step. Now you know what to do. Become conscious of it. Okay, become conscious of it. And then you say, like, for example, I am very conscious even when I have to say we, W-E, we, and if I have to say victory. Now, both start with the V sound, but if I have to say something like with V, it's my upper lip that touches my lower lip. Van. But if I have to say we, W-E, I say we. I don't say we. The shape of the mouth that you make is going to determine the sound that's going to come out. Your mouth is an instrument through which you're making a sound. Like playing a flute, okay? Playing a flute, the sounds will be perfect if it's intact, the shape is proper. You put pressure in between, you damage the shape a little bit, the sounds are going to change. So the way you place your tongue, the amount, how much you open your mouth will determine the sound you're making. I'm teaching all of these things in those videos. So if you're not watching those videos, you're really missing out on something important. Okay. So definitely watch that. It'll add a lot of value to your life. Okay.
Those are very nicely crafted videos.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have a lot of people telling me that they really like it. I am teaching phonetic transcription. Nobody will teach you phonetic transcription because it is a very difficult thing to teach. You open an Oxford dictionary, you look for a meaning of a word. Alongside, you'll also see some weird looking symbols in between two forward slashes. That is phonetic transcription. It's the International Phonetic Alphabet by the International Phonetic Association, where they have dedicated one symbol for one sound and one sound for every symbol. It is another way to perfect your English pronunciation and your spoken English. Do it. This is an advanced level course that is given away totally free. So that's what I told people. When I'm giving the free bonuses, these are not trash courses I'm giving you. I'm giving you properly formulated, curated courses because I truly want to add value to your life. Do you agree that the free bonuses I've given you are properly structured, organized content? Do you agree?
Yes. Those
Right?
are very well crafted. I mean, this should be taught us in the school itself.
In school,
Yeah.
absolutely. But it's not taught. But we instead focus on learning grammar and all the useless things which don't add value. Right? This is what should be taught. Nobody knows this. And we waste our entire time. Then in our adulthood, we realize that I wish I knew this. I wish. And then we struggle there. Right? But
It
it's
is
never too late.
difficult now
It's never too
because
late.
we do lots of unlearning. Because
Unlearning has to
it
happen.
might be really easy.
Correct. See, that's why I said these 4 days, surrender, completely surrender, and you will be absolutely amazed at the level of transformation you'll be able to touch. You'll be amazed. Okay. So good. I hope that helped. Unlearn, relearn. Absolutely. So Manisha, you asked where to find that, right? That is available. So if you go to, I'll just show it to you. You already have access to it. So if you go to the Super Resources platform, you simply go to the courses section. On your laptop, you'll see it on top like this. You go to the courses section and you're going to find all this here. Okay, now all this is not visible to you. There are some courses that are available to you. Like this accent neutralization formula is over here. Here's where you will see it. Okay, this is how you're going to see it. So you see this, all videos are right here. See, all the speech sounds, the 44 elementary sounds, one video is dedicated per sound. Okay, similar sounds, all comparisons, syllable stress, everything you will learn about improving your pronunciation, your spoken English, neutralizing your accent, everything is available. So the same link that you click on to access the recordings, it is available there itself. All right. I will share that detail again with you all so that you all don't get confused. And this is accessible on your phone also. If you're using the app on the phone, the courses section is down below. If you're using the laptop, it's on top. On the phone, it is down. Okay. Great. Any other questions? Anybody? I hope this session was really helpful. Great. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. As always, it was my pleasure to conduct this session. I'm happy that we've taken a little more time and I was able to clarify all your doubts. I hope it really helped you all. Now, I am more than eager and excited to watch all your level 2 videos. And I am absolutely confident that your level 2 videos are going to be better than your level 1 videos. And that is going to be your experience also. And you're going to share that story with me tomorrow. I know it. I already know it. Okay. So all the very best. I look forward to getting your videos before you get to bed, if possible. Okay. And I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay. Please remember 5 p.m., not 7. I'll leave a message in the group also. Okay. So I'll see you at 5 p.m. tomorrow. And until then, take care and good night. Bye. See you.
Thank you so much.
Recording stop.